Hey, I
Alright.
think we are live. Let me know in the comments there if you can see us. I see Grady there. He says good morning. I was having some weird issues before with the internet. I'm hardwired in, and I did the speed test. Google says that I'm going good,
You
and
look
right
great
now
now.
it says right. It
You
says
look
I'm
good,
good
yeah.
now. So who knows, right? It's one of those things. I guess there's a lot of people at home using the internet, so maybe the bandwidth isn't as good as it could be. So, hello, Chris can
Oh,
see me. Hello, David, Sue. Okay, great,
wow,
and
everyone's
you can hear me okay.
oh, we got Joanne. Glad you can catch this one, Joanne. I know Joanne's on PST time. So glad we can get this one.
Right on. Okay, and a lot of people here are also probably for the giveaway that we'll be doing towards the end of the presentation too. We have Lisa. I see Eugene, John. Happy Wednesday. Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everyone being here today. So, without further ado, let me see if I can get the slides up.
For those who missed it, we have two versions of Matt today. One is the blurry alien version that's popped up all of a sudden, and sometimes he becomes crystal clear.
Okay, so we are going to get going. Let me know in the chat if you can see the slides. I think they're up right now. It looks like we're good to go. Yep. Okay. Right on. So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, and you'll know why in a bit. But basically, we're going to be talking about the mobile side of inFlow, and we're going to go through also the hardware that we have to offer as well. And just before we get started, I'd love to know in the chat there if you're using the mobile app now. Now, here's the thing. We are doing a giveaway for a beautiful scanner, right? A $550 US dollar value. And the way we're going to do that giveaway is as long as you leave one comment or a question or something in the chat, like you don't have to do it 1,000 times. If you do it 1,000 times, it doesn't mean you get 1,000 entries. But yeah, as long as you're participating in the chat and we know that you're on here live, you'll be entered into the draw towards the end of the presentation. So feel free to put in your questions and your comments as we go. We will have, just for some housekeeping as well, we will have a Q&A period towards the end. So if some of the questions are very relevant to what we're talking about, then we'll answer them right away. But otherwise, we will try to keep the questions towards the end just to kind of keep things moving. Is there any other housekeeping things to me?
Yeah, just to let you know, we also have Nuria on here. You'll see her name in blue in the chats. She's part of the CSI team. She's based out of Lisbon. So if you do ask questions and stuff, she's also online. She's going to help track all that and make sure that we get to everybody's questions. So don't worry, we will get to it. And don't worry, the good mornings and hellos will also count as your entry into the contest. So you need to keep going unless you'd like to. We love hearing your comments. So
cool. So and awesome. So yeah, we have some people. I have the app, but I don't use it much. Perfect, Cheryl. So we'll talk about how you can get using it more, and hopefully it makes sense too for your business. Simon's in here as well too. Simon works on the CSI team, and he wants in on the contest, so we're gonna have to moderate him. Dylan hasn't used the mobile app yet. Great, perfect spot to be in today because we're gonna share what you can do. David says he uses it but doesn't pull all of his inventory, so there might be something up with that we can troubleshoot maybe a little bit later. And other people are saying no, haven't used it yet. Perfect. So whether if you've used the mobile app before or you just haven't even done it, great. Hopefully you'll learn a few things here and be able to start using it, because it's a really good way to make inFlow easier to use. So first, just a little intro. If you haven't seen or don't know us, my name is Matt. I've been with inFlow for over 8 years now. I think it's closer to 9, but I guess once you get up there, you start losing count of time. Time goes really quick. But I absolutely love the company. I love how we're helping a lot of small businesses, and especially in a time like this, it's really cool to see just how much we can, make a difference in the lives of small business owners. I did previously work for a pharmaceutical company, and they had warehouses, different warehouses and different sales reps across Canada. And I'll share with you a little story of how that comes into play with this. And one of the reasons why I'm super excited about talking about mobile is also because I led the process of developing our own hardware, so our own line of scanners. So obviously mobile's a part of that. And we did have some other staff members go through the slides and add a few things. So for example, Peter, if you know Peter, he's a sales consultant here at inFlow. He added that I have trouble pronouncing key staff members' names. He's not wrong. There's Yun, she's one of our product managers, and I can't for the likes of me say her name for some reason. And he also, actually I didn't see this part, but it took 2 years to mount the TV. I'll show you why it took me 2 years to mount the TV, and I'll be offering Tameem a free TV mounting service after this webinar.
There, you said it out loud, so it must be true.
Deal. I also have two beautiful kids. I have Ethan, who's 3, and Sophia, who's just over 1. Fun little interesting fact, we have no idea where Ethan gets his curly hair from. I have pretty straight hair. Gina's hair is also very straight. And Ethan is super, super curly. Like when he was even younger, it was like tight curls. Like it didn't even grow down, it just grew up. So who knows where he got that curly hair. And just as a quick aside, I had to throw this in here. I didn't have to just mount the TV. I had to build a fireplace. Okay, and if you guys have ever tried to do any kind of reno stuff with children, it is not a fun time. It's not easy. So that's why it took me 2 years to mount the TV. I bought the TV 2 years prior, and then it only went up on the wall somewhat recently, like 3 or 4 months ago.
So now you know who to call for any reno needs or tips or inFlow hardware questions. It's Matt.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit about me. I think I've been on a few webinars and live Q&A. So hopefully some of you guys have, spoken to me before. But my name is Tameem. I have a background in engineering and business. Did a lot with logistics through that experience, I guess, and actually got to work in East Africa for a bit to build a solar company where we actually made our own inventory management system. So we had our own warehouse and stuff. So I'm quite involved, and I guess I have some experience in the world of inventory management, and I love it. It probably points to my next bullet point here about what I love. I love Excel, not for inventory management, as you guys probably can tell. It's not great for that. inFlow is much better. Ice cream, coffee as well. And then these last two, again, we had someone come in here and punk us a little bit. We've got an incredible chef, which I believe is a lie. But I'm glad my coworkers believe this. And apparently a riddle and puzzle master. So again, news to me, but I'm going to ride that. Yeah. Yeah. And I actually don't have kids. I just felt left out. I love kids. I wish I had some cute kids like that. But I just threw some pictures up of my foster dog, which has been adopted, but I wanted to be included. So
yeah, of course they count as kids too. They're furry kids.
Not quite as involved, I think, but there we go.
Okay, so how do I actually get started with the mobile apps? So some of you had said that you hadn't even downloaded them yet or haven't even put them on. So quickest and easiest way is if you have an Android phone, just right into the Google Play Store. You can search inFlow or inFlow Cloud Companion app. It'll pop up there. You can install it, log in, and you're good to go. Same idea for the App Store. Just search inFlow Cloud, and it'll pop up. Install it. You're good. You're good to go, and you just have to log in. So it's really as easy as that of getting inFlow onto your current device, and it works for pretty much any Android or iOS device that you might have. I mean, there's some. I mean, if you have a really old device, maybe not, but for the most part, it'll work on any kind of somewhat modern 2, 3, 4-year-old device that you have. Tameem also promised some dad jokes in the presentation, so you might see these throughout. So they're not as funny if I read them out to you. So if you just want to take a second and read it, so this is definitely something I would do. But you might see these pop up in between the sections. So first and foremost, why should I actually use the mobile app? So what does it actually give me when I'm using it? There's a few things, and the biggest ones is the share of knowledge, the speed, the accuracy, and just how easy it makes, not just that the mobile app is easy, but just how much easier it makes working with inFlow easier. And if something's easier to use, you'll be able to, the system will be better and you'll be able to use it more often. So the share of knowledge is super important. So for example, like once you have that mobile app loaded, it's like having your whole business in the palm of your hand. Everyone can know what's in stock, what orders are pending, the customer history. So it's literally having all of the knowledge right at your fingertips at any point in time. And like I mentioned earlier, I had a quick story about when I worked at the pharma company, and they were a relatively small pharmaceutical company. They weren't using inFlow at the time. In fact, they were actually using some ridiculously expensive software. They were using an ERP. I believe it was SAP, if I'm not mistaken, and the price for it was like literally over $100,000 for the software, and also to pay for consultants coming in and trying to just get things organized, which is kind of crazy. And one of the interesting parts that I remember when working there, like I had an office, but my office was pretty close to the reception. And the reception woman, she had to take phone calls from our sales reps across Canada. And she would get like a call every few hours asking just like, hey, do we have enough stock to do this? Do we have enough stock to do that? Like some of the sales reps would sell into smaller shops, and sometimes the shops would place really big orders. Sometimes they'd have really small orders, but before they wanted to write the order, they wanted to make sure that we had the inventory to do so. So one of her biggest pain points, and I remember her complaining about this every day, was just why couldn't they just have access to inventory? Why could they just have it? Like it would solve so much of her time and all the interruptions that she had throughout the day. So obviously having something like this would help, but understandably every business and the needs are different. So the other reason why you might want to use the mobile app is that you can actually use your phone as a barcode scanner. So sometimes it's actually faster to just go over the UPC and with your phone for it to scan it kind of instantly versus you even trying to search up for a product, especially if you have a big catalog of products. Now, even if you're using your mobile phone, it's important to note you can still look up products or whatever it might be by searching. You don't have to use the camera application for it. So you have both options. So usually the camera is faster, but if you're used to searching or you know exactly what you're looking for, you can type it in right there. The other important thing is you're updating your inventory in real time. So if you're on the shop floor, you're on the road, you're in the warehouse, and you need to do something, whether it's a stock adjustment or transfer, whatever it might be, you can do that really easily right there, right now. You don't have to actually reconcile or anything like that. Another good point that actually Peter brought up when I was speaking with him that a lot of customers like is that you can actually have your defaults set. So every user, when you have more users on inFlow, you can have your own defaults. And essentially, if you're using your own phone, then your defaults are kind of saved. So your device can be more specific towards you. So Peter had mentioned that a few customers really like that because then they knew if person A, B was using their phone, all the defaults, like what location to pick from and what, like all the defaults that you can do inside of inFlow are saved to that particular record. Does that sound right to me?
Right on. And we will show you, I will be demoing straight from my phone screen exactly what Matt is talking about. So you'll see this all come to life shortly.
Yeah, what we'll do is kind of just go through some of the top level things that you can do, some screenshots, but then where it gets more fun and interesting, we'll actually show you live of some of the stuff that we can do. And Lillian, I just saw your comment. The story is so relatable. Our reps call us way less and are so much happier thanks to inFlow. Yeah, totally. Like it's a really awesome example that I had to live through too, because I heard her name. It's funny also, this is another side story. Her name was Gina, and at the time I was dating Gina, which is now my wife, and I would just hear all the time Gina complaining. Like, anyway, it was one of those fun, small little things that at the time. But I digress.
And sorry, really quickly, one more thing too. I believe John asked, is applicable to the inFlow desktop version? So yes, it does. It plays nicely. It syncs up perfectly with the inFlow Cloud desktop version. So if you're on premise, the mobile app is a cloud only. But if you have the desktop cloud, it works perfectly. Web, desktop, mobile, it all syncs instantly. And we'll see that for the demo, but just to let you know. And one further question was, Joanne, I have to log on often. We just kind of recognize this. I believe it's every few hours that you'll have to relog on if you are inactive. So we're working to extend that as we speak. So stay tuned for an update, but yeah.
Yeah, and Sue said that too. Like, agrees with John. We have to relog in every time. So maybe and that's a great piece of feedback, and that's something we can send to our development team. Like, why is it that we have to log in so often? It'd be so much more convenient if we were just kind of saved in there. So yeah, by all means, it's something we can bring up, and this is a great forum to bring up that kind of feedback too, because we have obviously we can go to the developers and be like, hey, so many people wanted this kind of thing tweaked and fixed. So very cool. Yeah, keep bringing that feedback. So the other point is you're just more accurate when you're using the scanner too. So like I mentioned, you don't have to do stuff, say on paper, come back to your desk, and then that's a good opportunity for mistakes to be made. If you are scanning, for example, and specifically if you're scanning with a laser scanner, the accuracy is, we had a quote before, but it's something ridiculous, like 10,000 times more accurate than just someone kind of keying something in. And there's lots of things that you can do to help you become more accurate while you're using your mobile phone. So you can do mobile receiving. As soon as you get your items, you can put them into stock. We have some cool features like guided picking, and like I mentioned, stock transfers from one location to the other, or even just take sales while you're on the road. There's no need to do a write-up paper form and then input that later, which is what the pharmaceutical company used to do all the time. And they also used to use fax machines for faxing orders, which blows my mind. And to this day, some companies use faxing. So that's a whole other ballgame. Peter, I like to put him on the spot because he put me on the spot. But basically, he said that a system is a system that's with you gets used, and a system is only as good as its use. So in other words, having the actual mobile inFlow with you makes inFlow just easier to use, and the more you use it, the better the whole system will be, which makes a lot of sense, right? So now just switching sections. So just another dad joke that popped up. My wife's going to labor. What should I do? Is this her first child? Nope, this is her husband. I would totally do this. Okay, so now let's get into the actual specifics of what inFlow Mobile can do. And there's a bunch of cool things that you can do with it. So obviously barcodes, images, you can make orders, pick and receive, email, manage products, stock transfers, and adjust stock level. So let's dive into this a little bit more. And Lillian's saying, yeah, it's very true. It's like having your whole business in your pocket. It's amazing. Cool. So one cool, interesting thing that you can do with inFlow Cloud, and it's almost like if you're just getting started, or for example, if your catalog of products don't have images or they don't have barcodes assigned to them yet, you can actually use the mobile app to assign things. So it's literally as simple as if you're starting from zero and have no products inside of inFlow, you probably want to do like an Excel or CSV upload. Once that's done, you can then go take the mobile app, and maybe I have this up right here. Let's see if I'm lucky. And I know I'm really small right now, but later when we go into the demos, we'll make it bigger. So for example, just here I have the inFlow Smart Scanner as a product. You can go over to the barcode field, and with the Smart Scanner, it knows that you're using the hardware button to scan. So what I'll do, you can see that that's the light in the scanner there. But all I'll do is just scan, hopefully, scan the item. And then what it does is it actually assigns that product that particular barcode. So super fast and easy way of assigning all your products barcodes. And you can do the same thing for images. You take a picture of the actual product, and inFlow Mobile will upload that to that particular product record. And it does sync. That was a good question we had earlier. It does sync all of the data across your the web client and the inFlow Cloud desktop client as well. So kind of an awesome quick hack to get things going really, really easily. You can also create sales orders on the fly and purchase orders on the fly. So if you're the type of company that takes orders from a trade show, or you have fleets of vehicles, we have a lot of people that use inFlow and they have like a lot of vehicles that go out. It's perfect for that. If you're working from home, installations, service providers. If I was doing the Tameem's TV wall mount installation and I needed to charge her something extra because she has cement walls instead of wood studs, and I needed to charge more because it's more labor to drill into the cement, I could do the sales order right there on the fly, which is pretty cool.
And Joanne, I know mentioned in the comments too, she has 5 sales reps. Not sure how we could input sales on the road. So just like Matt is saying, it's a seamless experience. Again, we'll show you through the demo, but yeah, hang tight, Joanne.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I don't know how soon, but pretty soon. I mean, you can accept payment right now, even through your mobile phone with a cool, one of those card readers or something like that. You swipe a credit card on the go. Maybe we'll even come up with a hardware solution for that too. But we are coming out with, if you guys saw our Facebook live office hours last week, we talked about inFlow Pay. So eventually, what would be super cool is maybe even on mobile, we'll be able to accept the credit card right there. You can't do that yet. Like right now, you can create the sales order. It can be on terms, or you can just grab payment another way. But eventually, that would be something super cool. I think that would allow you to do that with your sales reps on the go. Another feature that makes a whole lot of sense to use a mobile device for is picking. No one wants to take their laptop to the warehouse and have to kind of assemble the orders. And the way we used to do it in the pharmaceutical companies, we'd print off tons of sheets. There would be 3 sheets per order. One was a pick list, one was a checklist, one was a box contents, I guess, page. And you can still do that with inFlow. If that's your process and you want to do that, by all means, you can. But what's interesting with mobile picking is you can actually see the list of items that you need to be put in, where the locations are for each, and you can get routed the fastest way possible through your location. So there's something called basic mobile picking, and there's something that's a little bit more advanced, but not really. It's really just clicking a button and it kind of comes up. And guided picking actually gives you bigger pictures of the items that you're going through, and it gives you more of a step-by-step process of how to actually and where to go to pick the items. What's super interesting with this particular feature is we work with a bunch of, well, I shouldn't say a bunch, but we work with a few inventory consultants, one of whom is a renowned published author. And we were showing him this feature, and he was actually blown away by this. He was saying some of the bigger ERPs that literally cost $100,000 don't have a feature like this, right? So it's just something cool that we were able to do, and we used a lot of his guidance when we put this feature together. So if it's not something you're taking advantage of, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's something definitely you want to at least check out and see if it'll work for your processes.
We have, I'm going to link also an article that talks about guided picking, like an optimized guided picking workflow. I'll take you through a bit of an example for the demo, but the blog article really helps lay out just the best possible way. It's through kind of something called street style routing. So I'll link that to you guys now as well if you guys want to take a look.
So yeah, so you're getting something that's not even in those big ERP systems that you can get with inFlow. So that's something cool. Like take advantage of that. So I also wanted to share a quick video. Let's see if I can. We've never done these videos before, but let's see if it works. Okay, it's just a really quick video on mobile picking, just to kind of show you how it's done with the smart scanner, and let's see if it works. Oh, wait. There we go.
Hi, I'm Cassandra from inFlow.
Hi, I'm Cassandra from inFlow. And if you fulfill a lot of orders for your business, your picking process probably looks like this. Go to the computer, print your pick list, go to the printer, pick up your pick list, and then take that with you throughout the warehouse as you check off your items. But it could look different with the inFlow Smart Scanner.
Instead, just pull up
your sales order, select to pick,
as you go to the shelf,
and then as you go to the shelf,
scan your items as you pull them, update your pick list in real time. And that's it. Save time and paper
with the inFlow Smart Scanner.
Okay, so that's the picking, and maybe to me, I don't know if there was an echo when we played, but maybe the next time we play the video, just pop on the mute, because I think it's playing out louder than picking up from yours. But no worries, it was okay. No big deal. Okay.
Just actually, if you can just pause for 1 second, we have questions. I'm just going to read them out. So we'll send the replay link afterwards to everyone for the webinar. So we'll just read the questions out so our replay folks can follow along. But we have Stephanie who asked if this can be used on any phone or your scanner. Sorry, very new to inFlow. It can be used Android or iOS. And of course, the smart scanner that Matt will be talking about, the inFlow scanner, obviously supports that as well. And it would be iOS 9 or later that is supported currently. So that's for you, Stephanie. And then another question, Equindayo, I hope I pronounced that right. Can I take stock with the mobile app? So the mobile app, you can transfer your stock, you can adjust your stock, and you can pull up certain products to see stock. We don't have a full current stock count or count sheets quite yet, but that's features that we're going to eventually roll out. So keep suggesting them. We do plan to further build out the mobile app with those kinds of features. And I believe that's it. We also have a nice story here from Lillian as well, actually. Quite beautiful. Also want to add that the mobile app is a great tool for someone with certain disabilities. One of our reps has tremors, and the app is the best way for him to create sales orders. We really appreciate accessibility. That's awesome. Glad that helps. Great. Okay, and we got a few comments on the echo, so that was my bad, everyone.
No worries.
Okay. So we'll get to the other questions shortly. So thanks, guys.
Okay, so one of the other things that you can do, I did mention it previously, but basically mobile receiving, and it's something that we can show you live as well. But essentially, when you're getting, you do a purchase order, you get the items in, and you want to be able to check what was received based on that purchase order. And you can do that very easily with the mobile with a mobile device, right? And this is something that, at least in the pharma company, what we found was it was very common that we would get short shipped. At least we'd get short shipped more than we would get more items than we ordered, right? So it was really important to keep tabs on that to make sure that you're getting everything that you order. Yeah, and if you're using default locations, inFlow can tell you where the stock actually needs to go away to as well, and it's the absolute fastest way to do it all. Another cool feature is you can share your sales orders a couple ways. One way is just by email. So basically, they'll get a link to the document, and they can save it as a PDF file. And I see here someone added that more coming soon with inFlow Pay. So like I was teasing earlier, there will be a way to actually just take money once you make that sales order and email them. The other way you can share is using the built-in functions of the device that you're using. So you hit share, and then, for example, if you're using Slack, if you're using, even just want to send a text message or whatever it might be, you can actually do that right from the device itself. So that's kind of cool, because that opens up some other possibilities depending on how you want to manage and organize your orders. And of course, you can manage the products directly inside the mobile app too. You can add, edit the products, categorize the goods, update the stock levels if needed. You might actually be able to do less if everyone. Okay, so one thing I used to hate. So I also used to work at Best Buy part-time way back in the day, and I guess that's where the TV mounting and all that kind of fun stuff came from. I used to sell TVs actually back in the day. And we had to do these crazy cycle counts that took, we would start them on Sunday morning, so Sunday right at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and they would go into the evening of, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And I mean, I guess they were necessary because in that instance, Best Buy, a store, has tons of products and that sort of thing. But, if we had a way to kind of update the inventory as we went, you might be able to get away with doing less cycle counting and less of that pain of doing that whole store every so often. Because I remember we barely got paid anything for doing it. It was just kind of like an expectation that we had to. But they did give us pizza, so there was that. That was okay.
Pizza makes everything better, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And like I mentioned, you can add barcodes to existing items. And obviously you can add photos to the products as well too, and everything gets updated throughout all your whole database. You can also do stock transfers. So if you're moving products from one location to another, in our instance, for example, we had a specific location for pharmaceutical products with, we had to keep basically for every order that we had to keep a small batch of them in kind of like a Q&A section of the warehouse. So we had to divide where the products were going and keep tabs on where they are. Because, for example, if there was ever a recall or Health Canada wanted to do some testing, we'd have to know exactly which batch came from where and where they were. So obviously, stock transfers are super important, and it also works if you have multiple warehouses or multiple facilities. You can keep tabs on where things are going at any point in time. Like I mentioned, you can also do the adjustments as you go. So you can actually stock in, stock out. And like I mentioned, you can actually, maybe not have to do as many cycle counts if you don't have to. And also for damaged goods, right? So stock, like shrink stock that's damaged or just unsellable, this can help keep it up to date too, so that when you do get that phone call, hopefully you're not getting any more phone calls about, do you have this in stock? But you're able to have an accurate inventory of, hey, yeah, our system says that we have 5 of them, but one of them's kind of broken. You can actually just move that out of available inventory so that you don't disappoint customers. I find that happens all the time. Like when you go to a hardware store, so another little story, I went to a hardware store last weekend and I was going to order these little boxwood shrubs to do some gardening. And their inventory online said they had 77, and this is Lowe's, by the way, so it's a pretty big company. They said they had 77 of these plants in stock. I went in, I was going to buy about 30 of them, and I go, and they're like, nope, it looks like the inventory is off. And I'm like, how are you off by 77 plants? Like, that's kind of big. And then I wasn't, it's all good. Like tons of stores had it. So I didn't even ask for the manager, but the manager guy was there. And he's like, oh yeah, it happens. Like, if it's under 100, it's not very much guaranteed. So I guess maybe it's different for live goods like that, where things are dying and that sort of thing. But, I should have pitched them inFlow. I should have said, hey, Lowe's, you should probably start using inFlow and do a stock adjustment when your plants die so that you don't have a disappointed customer like myself.
Matt, always selling.
I know it. Okay, so we'll try, one second.
I will mute myself here. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me play that one. So this is just a video on stock adjustments and how to actually do that.
Hi, I'm Cassandra from inFlow, and today I'll be showing you how you can do quick stock adjustments with the inFlow Smart Scanner. Today, we're taking some books out of inventory, and since we didn't sell them, we're going to do a stock adjustment. So I'm going to choose Remove Stock, and then I can just start scanning them. And that's it. Save time with the inFlow Smart Scanner.
I think she broke that device when she threw it. To this day, I don't know if I don't know if that device survived that toss. Oh, let me get back to the slides.
I'll have that someday. While we do that, I'll just read out some questions. We're about to switch to demo mode anyway, so I'll just pause and catch up on some of the questions here.
Sure.
So first question from David, when searching products using the mobile app, Android, why is it not possible to search using part of the item name and code? So we actually did release that feature, so you should be able to do that now. You may have an outdated version, so I would suggest just going into your Google Play Store if you're on Android and looking up inFlow Cloud Companion app, and then there might be an update outstanding. So just update the version. I'll also show you when I do the demo, I have the updated version that it should be good to go. So you can let me know if that's what you were looking for. We also had a question. Let's see. Arthur, so are we able to create a sales order during the show with all our product pictures matching with our SKUs? So yes, I will show you in the demo, but you will be able to do that if you set it up with your pictures in your database. You'll be able to see that and sell on the floor. So it's pretty exciting. And then from Lisa, oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Matt.
No, so you know me, I get excited when I have to say something, right? So yeah. Cassandra's actually here watching, which is cool. And she's like, Devin caught the scanner off camera, and she also brings up a fantastic point that our smart scanners are drop tested. So even if she threw it, it's not a problem because it won't break. They're ruggedized. They can take those drops. So I just wanted to shout out. And hi, Cassandra. Thank you for tuning in.
Finally, mystery solved. Okay, so from Lisa, does the app work for cloud or on-premise too? As Nuria mentioned, it is a cloud-only feature. And Lisa, I believe, is also, was it someone else? Somebody's asking about how to switch. Oh, Stephanie. So Stephanie, how do we switch from on-premise to cloud? What is the cost difference? To actually switch is quite easy. We've made it quite simple. From a technical standpoint, it's a few buttons and your database gets uploaded. From the cost perspective, it really depends on your business. So I've asked our colleague Finn, he's going to reach out to you on your email and kind of follow up. We do offer a great discount for people switching from on-premise to cloud. We've got some great promos going on as well right now. So we'll reach out to you a little bit and kind of have that discussion with you. So stay tuned. So we've got those few questions.
Joanne was asking, can you just input the quantity? Yes, you don't have to scan each and every item as you go. If you see that there's 4, you can totally just put 4, boom, you're good to go.
Yeah, perfect. And I believe she's also asked Joanne if you could share sales orders. Can you show us? Yes, I'm about to show you. It is a feature that was requested quite often, and we love it. It makes sense. You're on mobile, you want to share your orders, so we will show you that.
Chris, and Chris also has a good testimonial. He actually switched from on-premise 2 years ago, and he was saying that it's seamless. So if you are on-premise now and you do want to take advantage of all the cloud features and obviously mobile, yeah, it works, and people are happy with it. And you can also talk to Chris.
Perfect. Chris, is it our infamous Chris Martin, isn't it?
It's Chris Martin, yeah. Chris
Martin, yes.
It's a famous. Wait, why do I know Chris Martin?
It's Coldplay. The last webinar, I think we alluded to it, and Chris didn't say no, so
it could be. We might have the lead singer of Coldplay on this webinar right now.
We had something come in as well, asking if there's going to be a copy of the demo after this. There is. We will post a replay link probably within about 24 hours, and also email it out to everybody. You can also visit our webinars page on inFlow that actually houses upcoming webinars and also all the past demos, so you'll be able to read those.
John has a cool question. Does the scanner work with 3D barcodes? So Yeah, absolutely. So our scanner can scan any kind of barcodes you put at it. So the red doesn't really show up there, but usually you can see like a red kind of, yeah, you can kind of see it. You can use 3D barcodes if you want, like QR codes or whatever it is. General best practice is not necessarily to do so, but that's another thing that we can get into a little later when we go into the Q&A.
Cool. And we have a recommendation from Franco. I hope you can provide a feature where staff with limited access rights, so no access to cost price, can receive orders and print receiving notes without access to price. So I will actually also show you on the demo that we can now, for mobile picking specifically, limit what people can see. So if you have somebody to set up, maybe somebody in the warehouse and you don't want them to see prices, it's just simply to do the picking, we can limit that. So stay tuned, and once we show you that, if there's something else that you're looking for, let us know. Let's see, does we have quite a few questions coming in. Okay, does inFlow recommend the best vendor to go with based on the previous purchases in case of multiple vendors are selling the product at? That's from Arcana. There's actually a few different ways to select which vendor you're selling from. For each product, there's a spot on inFlow where you can select your preferred vendor, the last vendor space, and that's essentially where inFlow will choose which vendor that you're selling from. It's kind of just like the vendor default. It is quite a loaded question because there's a few ways that you could set defaults. But I'm going to take down your email and we'll follow up with some information and comments.
I think they also asked, does inFlow use any machine learning algorithm to recommend the vendor? Ooh.
Now that is a no, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's all default based. So Sue, how about doing quotes and emailing them instead of having to create a sales order? I believe you can do quotes as well. I'm going to confirm. So I think, let's see, we still have a few more. Okay, can you generate barcodes from on-premise? And John, do scanners work with 3D barcodes? We've got those. I think we believe we got those. Okay. All right, a few more questions, and we're going to get into the demo because I think the demo will help solve some of these.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna so we've got a question from Franco and Lydia, and we'll circle back to those, and potentially Nuria can get to yours while we do the demo. We don't want to keep you too long without the most exciting part. Not the most exciting, but it's interesting. So I'm just actually going to Matt. Anything else before we switch? Sorry, into demo mode.
No, I think we're okay. Yeah. So basically, if there's so Tameem has a few things that she's going to show off, and if there are any other requests of things you want to see, I think there was a few previously, like somebody wanted to see how do you share sales orders and that sort of thing. But yeah, you can just type it in there, and we'll try to show it off as much as we can. If we go a little bit over in time, we can then, I guess, switch to the Q&A. We'll do the draw before the Q&A, I guess, because the people that can hang around for the questions that they want answered will. But yeah, if it goes too long, then we'll do some more live demo stuff on the Q&A, I guess.
Perfect. And for those who did join late for the draw for the inFlow Android Smart Scanner, to enter, you just have to leave a comment in the chats. It could be a hello, a question, a comment, anything. But that's how you'll get your name onto the random draw. So if you've joined late, make sure you do that so you can get a chance to participate. Okay. Everyone can see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
This is a little messy here. I'm going to try to get rid of this. But essentially, I have I'll show you, it's just a live screen share of my phone. So I downloaded the app you can see up here, the inFlow app. And when I open it, it takes me straight. So it'll take me straight to the product page. So I've pre-populated a few products here. It's a snack store. So Tameem's snack store, that's what I'm opening. And you'll see that I only have 4, just for demo's sake. But I actually set these all up. So I imported them through web, assuming I just opened my store. I wanted to import my products. And I can just show you, when I do that, all the information is here. So I have my cake mix. And for the sake of demo, I do have all of this with me. So you guys get an intimate look into my snack store. today. You'll see the information. I put the description. I have a retail price that you can see here. And then I have my distributor price. So I have a few different pricings models set up. You'll see I have 98 on hand. And you'll actually notice here, the barcode section is empty. So that's where I'm going to show you what you can do. So it's quite typical, you know, when you're starting out, you might import a whole list of products into the web client or the desktop client. And now maybe you want to have an easy way to attach a picture or a barcode. So I'm actually going to go through that process. Here's one way. One way is you can go into the actual item, and I'll just show you. When I search, I mean, I only have 4 items, but imagine I had hundreds and I want to find the rainbow cake mix. I can start typing in rainbow. And you'll see here, so I believe, was it David who asked? Sorry, so many questions came in. Yes, David, when searching products, you should be able to type part of the word in and it pops up. So you'll see here, I've only put in rain and my rainbow has already popped up. So it should work. Let us know if it doesn't for you.
Yeah, Joanne was saying that too. Yeah, I want to see how to search an item by description, please.
Oh, and description, perfect. So goodness, let's look up, goodness was in my rainbowy goodness. So you'll see I typed in goodness and it pops up right here. So that's definitely something we added recently. So for those who didn't know existed, it does. Make sure to update the app. So yeah, so we're in here and you'll see that I can actually add some product details. You'll see add image. So I know there's no bulk way to add images yet, but sometimes this is quite an easy way on your phone. So I can actually take my photo and then I actually have it right here. So I'm going to do this live for you so you can see. There we go. If anybody else is a fan of the rainbow batter, give me a shout out. It's my favorite cheat.
Betty Crocker.
Yeah, Betty Crocker. So we have that. And I'm actually also going to, while I'm here, I can add the barcode. So I just press that. And you'll see with your phone. Let's see, we've got to position it in the frame. Did I get it? And this is why we recommend the inFlow barcode scanner. It is like it's a one-time click thing. So you'll see that took a while, but I got it. I got it right. It's right there. So I'm just going to press save up here in the top right-hand corner.
Lillian says shout out for the rainbow batter.
Yes, Lillian. I knew somebody was on my team. Okay, so now we've got this all set. I'm going to just exit out of here, and you'll see now that it's all set up here. So that's one way to do it. Here's another way. This is the exciting way. So I have my entire list. Say I have hundreds of products here, and now I'm ready to add something new. I don't know if you guys can see. Cashew, chocolate peanut butter. So this is something new I'm going to add. So I'm actually going to press this barcode scanner button up here, the top right-hand corner. It shows up my camera. And let's see, we've got the barcode. So I could just be in my warehouse trying to add some products. Let's get a nice, there we go. And you can see actually inFlow knows that this barcode is not in my system yet. So it's pretty smart. So I can add it to a barcode or add barcode to a product, which is what I want to do. Cool. And I'm going to actually add it to the, what was this? This was the chocolate peanut butter. So I'm going to choose chocolate peanut butter. And it's going to add barcode.
Jack was saying that he has some issues finding a product on his phone. Yeah, hey, we'll follow up with you via email and just see what the issues are, because hopefully that works. And David was saying something similar where if he has an item that says EC435, but if he searches just 435, it doesn't work. So it doesn't take account the whole string, part of a string in the search. And that might be an easy fix actually for our devs, maybe. I don't know, we'd have to ask them, but it might be an easy fix that they could do so that it searches inside the text as well, instead of just for the whole thing. So that's a good point, David. Yeah,
so we'll check up on that. And I believe David will be contacting you about the other issue with the pieces missing from the inventory. So we can talk about that there as well. Okay, so you can see now I've got the cake mix. I'm just going to go ahead and add a picture just so I have a few pictures here. I'm going to go back into my caching. Since I'm here, I'm going to add, take photo, and we got the caching. Also,
those are really good, by the way.
Chocolate peanut butter. I can't say no to that. I tell you. So we're gonna save. And let's see, we also have, so we're gonna save that out. And say there's something else I wanna add. Say, you know, a new product I have, let's see, I have a different cachie that I wanted to add. It's not in my product list, as you can see. If I go up here to the top right, there's the plus button. So it's a new, I can add a new product. And then from here, you can kind of type in what you want. Cachie chocolate. So you can do this all on the fly. Continue. I won't go through the whole process, but essentially it's the same. You get, I spelled it wrong, Kathy. If there's any Kathys out there, this one's for you. So you can add all the information to the product page. From here, you can add the barcode. So just showing you that pretty quickly. Cool.
Oh, and just as
so I'll just do. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to bring up something. So for the, so there might be multiple Davids. So then that being said, for the contest, like we're removing duplicates. So if you are David and you notice there's other Davids typing, just do a quick shout out or send us a private message. It doesn't have to be to everyone, but just send a private message saying David and maybe your company name. So that way we can put you into the draw as a unique entry. So you only have to do that if you notice there's someone else with the same exact name as you, okay? So if you're, so you don't have to do that like, Grady, I think you're good. Joanne, I think you're good. I have your last name too, that's great. But if you have a first name and you see someone else posting with the same first name, just send us a quick private message and we'll make sure that you are a unique entry into, Nuria's already on the ball. She already noticed that there was 2 Davids, so we're cool. But yeah, send a quick private message and we'll make sure that that works.
Perfect. Awesome. And then just one thing before I leave the product screen, I just want to show you too, if you are scanning something, I believe I've scanned everything almost. No, I've got one more thing. If you are, it's just my some sunflower seeds. So you can also, this is a great way to add new products too. So you'll see again, add product, barcode to product. And you'll see at the bottom here, it says add barcode to a new product. Right here at the bottom, if you guys can see that. So if you click that, it'll actually give you the opportunity to create a new product with that barcode. So kind of skips the steps. So that's a nifty little trick for you guys as well. So that's a little bit about the barcodes and the product lists. Now we're going to get to the exciting stuff, making some money. Let's sell. Let's sell. Okay, everyone's favorite activity. So just going back to the main menu here, you'll see these are the different options. So let's go into sales order. We're going to go into sales order, and you'll see I actually have a few already. And you'll see these new little additions, if anybody's noticed, which is I'm very excited to demo. And I'll bring it to life for you. But for the sake of practice, let's create a new order. Say I'm out on the road, trade show, and I want to create a new order. I just press plus to create that order, and then I can either start with a new customer. I already have a few customers in here. Mary, we know you're a part of every webinar, so I preloaded you in, one of our biggest fans. So let's sell something to Mary. And she won our last contest, so fun fact. And just to bring this to life, if people are using this and you don't keep track of customer names, say you're on the road and you don't want to know the person's name, you know, it's just a quick transaction, you don't need to keep record, you can actually create a new customer called road customer or whatever it is, so that it's an easy, quick, any person that I sell while I'm out on the road or at a trade show, it's just trade show customer, trade show customer. So you can do that, that's a little trick. But for now, we'll sell to Mary. So you get to this page here, and let's see. Can everybody see this? I don't know if our faces are in the way. Okay.
Yep, I can see it.
Perfect. So now you'll see there's quite a few ways to add the order. You can add an item or scan an item. I'll do both. So first, I'm just going to add an item. Say I don't want to scan it. I know what I want to sell. I'm actually going to sell some rice crackers. Sorry, Mary, you get the most exciting thing on the list. I'm going to sell her 2 things. Okay. We're going to add that, my unit price. I don't think I set that up. So we're going to give it to you at a good price. That might be a bad price. I'm not sure. Don't worry, it's Canadian dollars. And then I'm also going to keep adding, but this time scan item, just to bring it to life. So again, say you're on the road and you're selling something. It's just super easy to scan something, especially if you have the inFlow Smart Scanner where the scanner's built in. This is one extra step, but it still works for anybody with a phone. So I'm here. And there we go. Tap to scan. There you go, Mary. You get a good one. You get the chocolate peanut butter cashew. And I'm going to actually give you 2. So I've just clicked into that, and I can click here, the plus button, to get 2.
So you don't have, so the good point there is that you don't have to actually scan it twice. You can actually just add the quantity yourself too, because we want to make it so that, you know, whatever's faster for you to do it. And just a quick shout out, John. Yeah, we'll get in touch with you. He was also asking about if you're already on premise, do you have to go to cloud for this? Yes, this is a cloud only thing because that's the only way we can connect the databases. So if anyone's using on premise right now and they do want to switch to cloud, you can just get, we'll reach out to you. If you send us the private message like John did, we'll reach out to you, or you can just reach out to us and we can tell you, it's a bit specific for each account, but we'll look at your account and let you know, the cost and what you're eligible for and that sort of thing, if it's something that you're interested in. So thank you, John. Yeah, we'll get back to you on that.
Awesome. So I've got my sales order ready for Mary. I'm happy. This is what I want to sell. And you can scroll down and see all the details here if you'd like. You can edit the pricing. So I'm just going to show you that. If I go there, I do have a few, well, I have a retail price and distributor price set up in my system, so I can actually choose which price to give Mary. I'll stick with retail price for now. So I'm going to say done. So I'm happy with my order. I'm actually going to save it. Or you can go down to actions. And there's a few different things you can do. Just like the normal app, you can fulfill it, you can mark it paid, you can invoice. I'm just going to invoice it for now. I haven't filled anything, I haven't given her anything. I'm just going to fill it. So I'm going to save that just in case. We've got it saved. And fun fact, so I'm the one creating the order, but perhaps this is going back to my warehouse folks and they're actually going to pick it and pack it and ship it, for example. So I can actually, you'll see up here, this is the new feature. It's assigned to. So if I click that, I can actually give this order to somebody else. Somebody else is responsible for fulfilling the order. So I'm going to give it to here, Tameem Webinar. Very creative name, but I'm gonna assign it to Tameem to fulfill this order. So I'm going to do that, and again I'm going to save. So basically, what that does is when this person signs into their account, Tameem, they'll be able to actually find the stuff that they're responsible for, and they'll go ahead and be able to go pick stuff. And we'll show you that. So that's something pretty cool. And another cool thing too, you'll probably notice when I pressed actions, is from here you can now email or share the order, which is great. So if you want to email it to your customer, for example, you can do that, or you want to, again, email it to somebody in the department, you can totally do that as well. So you can just do that, you get pulled up to the email screen, and you can type this all in, and it's good to go. I will, for the sake of presentation, send it to myself. I'm going to get spammed a lot today.
And Stephanie just says, yes, I want to switch to the cloud as well. So that's cool.
Awesome. Then we'll get on it. Okay. And then, yeah, you can put a little message here, which is pretty cool if you'd like to say anything. Okay. Just not a texter, so short and sweet. And then I'll go up here and send it off. Yep. To Tameem at infoinventory.com. Sales order, great. Got it. Oh boy. Okay, so this should be sent. I will follow up and let you know if I got it. And then I'm going to just exit this order and go back to my sales order screen. So you'll see now the new one pop up. So here we go. I just created this, and that's what these little circles are. So I can see this is now responsible. Tameem Webinars is now responsible for this, the purple ones. Me, I'm the yellow one. The orange, sorry, I'm now responsible for these orders. So you can actually, even if you go down here, for example, say you want to figure it out, this list is short, but imagine you have hundreds of these. You can actually filter a whole bunch of this stuff, and you can now filter it by who it's assigned to. So if I go into that, I want to know exactly what is assigned to me. Right now I'm logged into this account, so I'm going to just select that for the sake of demoing, and I'm going to go press apply up here. And then you'll see it'll filter down. So it becomes super convenient for everybody in the field. Just focus on what you need to get done, and you can go ahead, and I'll actually fulfill one. So I'll actually go into this one here. If I go in, and now I can actually fulfill it.
And that was a huge request, actually, from the heavy users of the mobile app, is that they needed the filtering options. So that was something that came right from you guys. So when you make those, the feedback, we'll actually put it into consideration when we can.
Yep. And then you'll notice here you can do, just like on the web app and stuff, if you click the 3 ellipses here, you can partially fulfill an order. We know sometimes that happens. So that pops up here, and you can actually choose the location. So I'm gonna just edit location. So it takes me here, and now I can actually see, oh, I was about to sell from a location I didn't even have stock in. So I'm gonna change it and press front. That's the front of the store, and then here's my sub locations. So within the front of my store, here's where I store all my stuff. So these are the sub locations. I'm gonna just select from the cash shelf. Okay, so then you can click the fulfill button, and you can see here it'll auto fulfill, so it'll do all the work for you. Auto fulfill. I think I've selected. So you'll see the warning errors because I didn't put the stock into my system, but if you have stock, it should be fine. There you go, order picked, and it's all good to go. Save. And then one thing, again, I'm sorry, we're kind of going over, but this is super important and a lot of valuable stuff in the mobile, so I do want to show you as much as I can. So I'm also going to show you a case where we actually have shipping on. So I'm going to go back and clear my assigned to. I want to see every order out there. So we have all these orders. I believe, let me try this one. Down here, just for the sake of presentation. You'll see here the button is set to fulfillment. So that means we don't have shipping on. So that pretty much means somebody just bought it from me. I don't have to ship it to them. I could just give you your cash fees right away. But of course, there's business models where you're not going to fulfill it at the point of sale. So you might need to be shipping it. So if you go to details, and you can go down here, include shipping, you'll see that it's turned off. So if you just toggle that on and save, you'll notice now that this button is actually changed to pick. So the whole idea now is you're not going to fulfill it. You actually have to go through the order of picking it. So that is where the magic comes in. And I'm actually going to, bear with me, just log off, and I'm going to log on as this other person. Purple Tameem webinars, just so you can see what it looks like to do that. And I'm going to log back in. I'm sorry, I know it's a little bit of a longer webinar, but this is really useful because for this user that I'm about to sign into, they don't have rights. They can't see price rights. So I believe somebody asked about this before, maybe Gary or for you.
Yeah, someone asked, like, are there user rights on the mobile app? And yes, there are. So for example, if you have the warehouse pickers and you don't want, say, the pricing to appear or cost or whatever to appear on the order, we can do that. And just quickly, Cheryl asked if inFlow can be integrated with medical office software. Yeah, actually, medical offices are, for one reason or another, there's a lot of people doing medical office supplies with inFlow. So and I know a few of them off the top of my head. Interesting. And medical devices. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so now I'm into the warehouse. inFlow, Tameem inventory or Tameem webinars. I'm the warehouse person, and I'm responsible for picking the orders. So I've received the order. Maybe I got emailed to me, or I can kind of filter to see what orders I'm responsible for. So I'm just going to go to sales orders. Oh, sorry, I don't have access because I've set up that I can't see sales orders. So I don't want me in the warehouse to be able to see prices, customer. I just want to be, all you're doing is picking. Like, that is my core job. So if I actually go down this a dedicated tab here called Pick Sales Order. So we'll go there. Bit of a lag here, sorry. So you'll see now, this is the magic. So I can't go and check out the sales orders, but I can come here and do my job, which is to fulfill. So I'm going to just pick one of these and do Mary. And you'll see here, there's no pricing information. I see nothing. All I get to do is participate in the picking process. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty big feature that a lot of people ask for, because we know that that's quite important for a lot of business models. So that's all I wanted to show you. I'm going to go back into the other account, which has full access to everything. So bear with me. But any questions on that before I log out of the restricted user space?
Marge was just asking if there's a view on desktop that allows you to see the assigned items to each person.
So
I believe on desktop, yeah, I believe so.
I believe we've got that. So I'm just going to open that. Bear with me, Marge. We'll get to that. I'm just going to open the desktop, and I can share that in a moment. So you definitely do it on web. I believe you can do it on desktop. So let me go back in.
And Stephanie's super excited about chatting with us.
Yes. We haven't even gotten to the rest of the stuff.
She sent a few private messages there. So yeah, we'll be able to answer those. No problem.
Perfect. Okay. Great. So now just so you guys can see, it's very similar process if I want to buy stuff. So I'm out of stock now. You can see my stock. Maybe this is low stock for me. I need to up my game. If I go to the main menu, I can actually do some purchase orders. And it's very similar to the process we just went through with sales orders. So you can create a new purchase order here. Select a vendor. Oh, I haven't set up any vendors. That's my bad. I'm actually going to set up a vendor first. I should have done that before, so apologies. Okay. Coldplay Co. There we go. Getting our top registrants involved here. Did I press save? I did. Perfect. So I have my vendor. I'm going to now purchase from them. Go back to purchase orders. So I'm going to press plus up here to create one. I'm going to buy. You have to choose your vendor. You can also search for the vendor name if you have a long list. So I'm going to buy from them. And again, I can add items. If I already have them in front of me, I can scan items. It's pretty much the same kind of thing. So I'll just I'll do some chocolate peanut butter bars. I'm going to buy 10 from them. And the same thing I'm going to add. And you'll see here, you can assign this too, right? Because the purchase order is similar to the sales order. When you purchase, there's still the process of receiving the order. So that might be something that you want to, give one department or a certain set of people to do that process to receive the order. So you can definitely assign to as well for purchase orders. So I'll just do that and save. And again, once you're ready, you can go through the receiving process once the orders have actually arrived. So that was just a quick one because it's quite similar to purchase orders. And also from there, same thing, press actions, and you can share that off with people, email it, or share it. So the last little bit, bear with me, we're almost there. Thanks, guys. I'm just going to quickly talk about adjusting stock and transfer stock because those are the last two major features of mobile. So from here, we are building this section out, mobile out a little bit, but for now, what you can do is add and remove stock to certain locations. Or transfer between them. So that's what we can do for now. We are building that out. So if we wanted to adjust stock, for example, I could say I want to add stock or remove stock. Let's just say I'm going to remove a bit of stock. You can choose from what location you're removing it from. I'm actually at the front of my store, and I want to move some stock. So I can, again, almost everywhere in inFlow, you can either select the product by searching or scan it in. So I'll select a product to remove. And I'm going to remove some of the cake mix because Mary's bought some. I want to take it off the shelves. I'm going to save it for her. I know she likes it. Or Lillian likes it. So I'm going to do that. And then I can save.
Penny likes it too, by the way.
Okay, Penny too. Penny's on the team. I should say I also love the chocolate side. I like the rainbow and the chocolate. I'll take any cake. So there you have it. So I've just removed stock. And similarly, you can also add stock. So just to show you, if I go to my product screen, you'll see the cake rainbow mix has gone down in inventory. So you'll see here. So you can see those details, and that's gone down. So quantity on hand is now 97. And you can see when you go into, just like the web app and desktop app, you can see it broken down your stock levels. So that's pretty cool. So that's the adjust stock screen. And quickly, I'll take you through the transfer stock. Similar idea, but this is just, instead of moving or adding, I want to transfer maybe from the front of my store to the back of my store. So I'm going to, again, transfer from the front of my store some items. I'm going to put them back into my back pantry. And then again, you can see, you can scan some items in. That might be the easiest. If you're out there in the front of the store and already, you can just kind of scan them in. Or you can add the items. I'll scan. I haven't scanned in a while. So I'm going to remove some of these. See? Oh, guys, I have a shaky hand. I had too much coffee.
I would change the location from the shelf to my belly.
I should have set that up. Cool. Oh, so it didn't scan. Interesting.
Yeah, I think because also the package is a little. See, that's the thing. And it also, it's like if you have a better. I know, Tameem, your phone's a little bit older, but like if you have a newer phone with a better camera, the focusing's quicker, then it'll scan much quicker. And then obviously, if you're using our smart scanner that has the laser built in, it'll do it right away. Like I could probably scan that in a second or two. I think this one's giving you trouble just because it's on a glossy surface and a flexible bag.
Yeah, no, you're right. I chose the worst one to demo, didn't I?
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's real life, right? I mean, this can happen with any product that you have too.
This is also a very compelling reason to go for the inFlow Smart Scanner. Okay, so there's something wrong with my camera today, so we're just going to stop that part. But essentially, scan it in, and then I'm going to just go back since my scanning wasn't working, and you do the same thing. You can choose what you want to remove or what you want to transfer, sorry, and you can choose even the sub-location that you want to remove from, and do all those nifty things. So that's pretty cool. So that's the transfer stock, and that's pretty much the ins and outs of mobile, inFlow Mobile right now. I don't know if we want to go to questions. I know, Matt, you wanted to talk about a scanner a little bit.
Yeah, let's go. We'll keep the questions for the Q&A. I know some people are getting a little antsy and they want to see the draw. So let's get things going, and then we'll still be around for any Q&A for anyone that wants to hang out. We'll answer all your questions. No matter how long it takes, we'll be here for you. So, and just as a heads up, so we have done a lot of work on the mobile app. We had someone else mention that, from the beginning, when we first launched the mobile app, it was very, very basic. There wasn't much that you could do, but we always had planned to improve upon it. So just so you know, too, you might see like somewhat of a lower review score because a lot of people reviewing the mobile apps, they either don't have an account yet, so they're just kind of like, oh, I can't log in, 1 star. Or it was an earlier version of the app where there wasn't as much features. So today, like you see all this stuff, it has a lot of those features. So actually, if everyone could do a favor as well, too, if you guys could leave a quick review, if you haven't downloaded the app yet or about to, if you could leave a little review, that would be so helpful for us. I did really, really appreciate that. But that being said, we are always working on it, always working on improving it. So some stuff that we're considering doing and some stuff that we are doing. So for example, really simple, we're going to give you the ability to rename some fields. Also, I think this is going to go in the web app as well too. So just kind of like on premise, we had the ability to change fields around to customize towards your business. You'll be able to do that with the mobile app as well. Some other stuff we have kind of on our radar, but we don't know if we'll be doing it or when, like a mobile dashboard to just see like, hey, what are the pending sales orders? What are the sales for today and purchase orders and this and that. Basically be able to see all your business numbers right at a glance. Something else, and some other people had asked about barcoding and label printing. We could potentially have that option inside the mobile app as well. So that's something that we're thinking about to do. Count sheets as well. It makes a lot of sense to be doing your counting with the device in hand. So I feel like that's something that will come eventually. It's just not a very popular feature, I guess, because everyone hates doing cycle. I hate cycle counting. It's the bane of my existence. So maybe that's why we've kind of shelved it for now. But it is something that's on our radar. And like I mentioned, if you guys have any requests for the mobile app, please put it in this webinar. We look at every single one of them. We share them with the dev team, and we do feedback, and we do make features based on what you guys suggest. So one more, I think this is the final dad joke. I made you guys suffer enough through these, but what's upstairs? Unfortunately, the stairs don't talk. Okay, enough of that. So I wanted to just give you kind of a brief rundown of the inFlow Smart Scanner, and this is something that I'm super pumped and super excited about. It's like my third baby because it's been a long time in the works, and I think we came out with something that's really fantastic, and I'll show you why. And if you feel like if I feel like I'm on an infomercial and you're watching an infomercial, I apologize. I'm not trying to sell it. It's just I'm very, very excited about it. So please bear with my enthusiasm. Did some cool shots of it, right? Just show it in action. These are actually members of the team there. There's Michelle, the lead designer, and Thomas, our content manager as well. And we have some fancy accessories that you can get. So the number one question we get with this scanner thing, like, what is it? Is it a barcode scanner or is it a smartphone? And the cool thing is it's actually both. So essentially it's an Android smartphone device that you can put a SIM card in. It's worldwide unlocked, so it literally works anywhere in the world with 4G. And we've had customers buy it in England. We've had obviously all over the US and Canada. We've shipped it to Switzerland. We've shipped it all around the world, and it works as like a normal phone. So if you wanted to assign members or have them have a work phone, it could be dual purpose. They could use it as a phone. But the biggest kicker is that it has that built-in laser scanner. So the laser scanner is insanely quick. You point it, you press the button, you're good to go. It'll scan the item instantly. What's more is that it's actually specifically optimized for inFlow Cloud. So it's not just that you're getting another mobile device. inFlow Cloud knows what hardware that you're using, and the actual app itself can change depending on what field you're in. So for example, if you're using the Android scanner, like our Android scanner, it knows to give you more of a view because it knows that you can just press, there's 2 dedicated scan buttons, so it knows that you can just press those. You don't have to click over to like, hey, activate the camera, do this, do that. It's kind of smart enough to know that when there's a field that requires a barcode, you can just press the button and you're good to go. And the smart scanner is smart enough to know to do that, so that's super cool. In terms of the manufacturing, this is just more some logistical stuff, but just so you know, it's actually manufactured by a company named Eurovo. They're fantastic. They're actually one of the biggest Android manufacturer in the world. So to get that partnership is huge. They're also partnered with DHL, actually. So hey, if they're good enough for DHL, then they're good enough for me as well. And something else that I really love about the device is that it's actually super thin. Most industry or business type of devices, and we've bought, I don't have them here with me, but we've bought a few of them. They're hefty. They're things that you don't want to carry around. They don't even fit in a pocket. This is, I mean, obviously it's not like iPhone level thin, but it's thin and enough that you can carry it with you comfortably. You'll be happy to use it. If there's any techies out there, these are just some quick specs. Just really quickly, it's running Android 8. It's a certified ROM. That's super important because our ROM is actually signed by Google to say that it's safe and secure. Like there's a lot of other devices you can buy off, Amazon, eBay, whatever it might be, but they're not necessarily certified by Google. Ours is. It's one of the only ones that is certified. Just something to keep in mind. 4 gigs RAM, 64 gigabytes ROM, has a cool processor, has a big battery that lasts you at least all day, if not more. 5-inch screen, and we actually give you a 2-year warranty where most devices you just get the 1. In terms of durability, it is pretty durable, and I do believe I have another quick video to show you. So Tameem, I don't know if you can just put the
on it.
Awesome. So let's see. This one's kind of a funny one. Let's see.
Hi, I'm Devin. Did you know our inFlow Smart Scanners are IP65 water and dust resistant? That's why I can do things like this.
Don't try this at home.
See, it's fine. It's also been drop tested from a height of about 1.5 meters. See, it's fine.
So see, it's fine. So yeah, cool. And the actual testing, like when I was researching the device and the company, like the testing that they do is pretty crazy. They'll actually, for example, put the device into an oven. There's one setup where it's on like a turning Lazy Susan looking thing, and they have like a garden hose spraying it, and they have that set up for hours for some reason, but it's all in the name of testing the durability and that sort of thing. So like we mentioned on this webinar, like you don't need the smart scanner by any means. Don't think that you have to have our scanner for this to work. Obviously, we highly recommend it. It's like an integral part of inFlow to make inFlow super easy for you to use. But you can get started just by using the phone that's in your pocket today. Obviously, there's some differences. Biggest difference, like we mentioned, is obviously ours has that laser scanner built in. It has two dedicated buttons on either side. So just the orange one there, lets you activate the scanner on a click. Whoa, I'm really blinding my camera there. It's much faster than the camera app that we saw before. I mean, the camera app on your phone should work better, should work decently well, but obviously this is a lot faster. It's tough for business, so if it's in a warehouse, you throw it around, it's not gonna explode. Replacement cost is $550 US dollars, so we sell them for $550. With consumer phones, you drop one of those bad boys and the screen cracks. Oh, you're out. Like you could be out almost $1,000, right? It can be. I've done it. It's super painful to have to do that, and obviously ours comes with a bigger battery because you're going to be using it all day. And when we went out and made this partnership and got this smart scanner, I wanted to make sure that we were making something not just the best for inFlow, but the absolute best possible scanner that you could get in the market, like bar none, full stop. So we took a look at what other people were doing. We took a look at the competition. And I think we kind of hit kind of a cool sweet spot where basically we sell ours for, like I mentioned, the $550. There's other ones. The industry leader right now is the Zebra one. It sells for close to $2,000, which is a bit intense. And what's interesting is it's a much older operating software. So with business devices, usually, the Android, it's not like a consumer phone where you always get like Android 10 or whatever it might be right up off the bat. They always roll it out much slower for business devices. But in this case, for example, the Zebra one, it's actually like running Android 4, which is from 2013, so 7 years ago. Spec-wise, it doesn't have nearly much as the specs. Sure, it has a little bit of a bigger battery. It's also a beast. It's almost like 3 times as thick, or 87% thicker. And you're spending $2,000. So that one's kind of an outlier because it's like really, really expensive, and maybe that's for those companies that spend like $100,000 on their inventory software. But we actually looked at another one from Wasp. Wasp, great company. They do inventory software as well. They've done a lot of hardware over the years. And one of the ones that they offer, again, it's double the price of ours. So it's over $1,000. They are running a little bit more of a newer Android version. We're up to 7. The processor's a little bit better on theirs, but again, it's double the price, and it's significantly thicker as well. It's kind of a brick, and a little bit of a smaller screen. I know 4.7 to 5 isn't big, but essentially what I'm trying to say is we went out of our way to make sure that you're getting not just the best device for inFlow, but even in the market, in the landscape, you're getting the best possible you can for your money. With these, we're not trying to make like money on these. We're trying to make it so that inFlow is easier to use, and you'll just enjoy using inFlow more. And like you saw in the demos and all the cool things you can do with it, if you have one of these working for you, it'll make your operations and inventory that much easier to go for. And what would be a device without the accessories? So there's a lot of cool things you can get with them too. By default for $5.50, you get just the normal scanner. One of the accessories that I recommend is the pistol grip. There's 2 different versions. One has a battery built in, so it actually doubles the battery life. And the other one's just a normal pistol grip. So it gives you that extra trigger button to scan your items in. And then, for example, there's also like a docking station that you can actually just plug it in to make sure it's charged up all the time. So those are available to you too. And it wouldn't be a webinar without a special webinar deal. So, for example, if we will do the draw right now, I promise. But if you didn't win, you don't have to go home empty-handed. We do have a code for you. So basically, if you put in webinar at inflowshop.com, you'll get an extra $50 off the $5.50. It brings your cost down to $500. $500 for a device that'll make your logistics that much easier and make inFlow that much more fun to use is definitely well worth it. And I think you'll be in good hands if you pick one up. So let's get going to Lillian's like, this is the best video on the internet. Yes. Yeah. I think that was Devin's video with the coffee and the yogurt spilling.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so there is one thing, everybody, we noticed we have 45, looks like 45 people are in here, but I think we only have around 30 people who've registered for the contest. So if anybody has missed that part, this is your last chance. Maybe there might be duplicate accounts or whatnot, but just a last shout out. To get your comment in, if you want to be registered, you must leave something in chats. So we can confirm. I don't know. Did you get the list, Matt? Do you know how many people?
Yeah, I see the list. I have about 33 people, okay. I think it is. So we'll give you maybe like 10 seconds to get it in there. So if you haven't made it, so you don't have to make a comment right now. If you've made any comment throughout the webinar, your name is already in here, so don't worry. If you haven't made a comment or just shouted out hello or anything like that, then do so now. Liga, you're already registered. Just by making that comment, you're good. You're in the draw. I see your name. Do I see your name? I don't know if I see your name. Yes, we have your name, 100%. Yes, you're in there. So as long as you made a comment, we have moderators in the chat here putting our names all together. So I think we have it. Okay, going once.
Before we announce it, everybody jumps off. We will continue to stay on and answer some questions. Marge, I know you asked about being able to see assigned 2 orders on web. I have that ready for you. If you do stick around, if you have to go, I understand, catch the replay, but stay tuned for us to answer more questions, everyone.
And no, you don't get more entries for more comments, Grady, but good. That's what I would do. I would be like, Matt. And actually we had Dave, this is a comment. We got you, Dave. Awesome. We had Simon do that actually in our list. We're like, whoa, there's so many Simons. But oh, and Kim's back. Hey, Kim. Yeah, we got you. Don't worry, Kim. You're on the list as well too. Okay, so I think that's it. Are we ready for the draw? Yes. Okay.
Drum roll.
Okay, hang on. Let's put these people.
The weak drum roll is just me on my wooden table.
Oh, this is cool. Okay, hold on. I gotta share the screen. Let's do that. I just found this app thing last night. So, okay, so if you can see the screen there, you can see, hopefully your name is on there. It should be. John's like, let's do it. Can you put the slide back up? Yes, we'll put this right after we do, Penny, drum roll. Right after we do the draw, we will stay on here. I'll put the slide back up. Again, if you don't win it, no worries. You can buy one. The code is just webinar at inflowshop.com. Everyone's like, Matt, shut up. Just spin the wheel. Simon's name is not on it. He's disappointed. That's okay. No problem. Okay, how do I spin it now? Wait a minute.
Do we have our Davids separated? David?
Yeah, David? There's PaySafe David, and there is...
That would have been an awkward draw.
Yeah, there's David Callahan. Okay, or we would just have to give away 2. Like we'd make it happen. Okay, I think I just clicked. Okay, so are we ready? I'm purposely waiting for the suspense. Spin that wheel.
This is awesome. I love this wheel.
Okay, we're gonna do it. Okay, ready? I think we're gonna do it. I think I just clicked there. Okay, on 3, 2, 1. It's spinning. I'm super excited.
Wow.
Congratulations to Penny. Almost no. Hey, it is Wingling.
Wow.
Yay!
Oh, that was pretty cool. Wow. Woo.
Cool. So Wing, get in touch with us, and or I mean, I guess we have your email. We'll figure it out, and yeah, we'll send you this bad boy right here. Look at that, brand new in the box, and yeah, hopefully you put it to good use and let us know how it works for you. I'm always interested in hearing that. Okay, so let's put the other slide back up. So congrats. And like I mentioned, if you still want you want a scanner, by all means, just hop on inflowshop.com, put in webinar. I swear I sound like an infomercial. I apologize. This comes from my days when I was selling TVs, I guess. So I have this like natural kind of TV selling tendency. So, but yeah, you guys can grab one for your business if you like.
Cool. Awesome. We're getting a lot of great comments on this, and I think we can share the slides after. I know Stephanie mentioned, can you put the slides back up? The replay link will definitely be shared. I believe we can send the slides out with that. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So so we will send that out for everybody. Nice, a lot of congratulations.
Chris Martin, I'm on yellow, ironic.
Yeah, I like that one. We'll never know. Chris, you got to make an appearance at the next one. Serenade us with some guitar.
Yeah, we can invite you on to be a co-host, and then we can find out.
So Ligia, yes, this will be saved, and if you register for the webinar, we'll send you an email with the link directly, and also you can check out our webinars page. Always, all of our replays are there. They're on YouTube. I'll actually send the link here as well. Let's see, more comments coming in. We'll let the comments come in, and then we can answer some of the follow-up questions. Marge, if you're still on here, let me know, and I can show you the assigned to bits.
So by all means, if you guys, so like if you have more questions, start, you can put the questions in the chat right now. Otherwise, if you have to, I know we went like over time, so if you have to hop out, by all means, no worries, you can hop out. But if you want to stay around for any questions to be answered, we're here for you. We're already live, so we figure we might as well stay on here until everyone's inFlow questions are answered.
And for those who did ask about creating quotes from the mobile order, I think I saw that from Adam and somebody else. We don't have that yet. I've already literally messaged our devs while we were doing this live asking, and they said that we can put the request in for that because they can see the use out of it. So if it does come out, I've taken note of your emails for those who've asked about it, so you will know when it's out.
And Stephanie was asking, is that price per scanner? Yeah, so it's $500 per scanner. We've had people, and we have them in stock right now. So what's interesting with the scanners is that they're actually and it's funny, we're an inventory company, right? So you'd think as an inventory company, we should never have any problems with inventory. However, we do get some larger organizations that will order like one of them ordered 17 scanners. They first ordered one just to make sure that it was good. They, a couple days later, they then placed an order for another 16 scanners. So we don't stock, we can't stock hundreds of these at once, right? Because they're high ticket item. But if a bigger company comes along and wipes out like 3/4 or half of your inventory, then it's a little interesting to manage. But right now we do have inventory available for them. So yeah, if you place the order, you'll definitely have it. One thing to note with shipping times, we've had some instances where we ship worldwide. So I think internationally, if it's in the US or Canada, we just eat the shipping charge because it's fairly inexpensive. If we're shipping it internationally, we do have to charge $35, I think it is. And what we've been noticing with the pandemic, shipping times can be variable. Typically, it's within a week you get them, like 3 to 5 business days. Depending on the country you're in, though, it can take longer just depending on their backlog of customs. So just something to keep in mind. Currently, right now, shipping to the US is actually fairly quick. We shipped one out just, I think it was a couple days ago actually, and it only took, it was last week and it only took about 3 days to arrive. So yeah, no, we're okay for shipping. So.
And now that I see Marge is here, so Marge, I'm going to quickly just show you how you can, I'm going to take over the screen. I actually took a screenshot. So let's see of what you can do. So Marge's question for those listening was how you can see a list of people and what it's, you know, assigned to, who's assigned what. So if you go into it specifically for the desktop app, you can do this with web as well. But if you go to the desktop app and you're in your sales order list, sorry, I just took a screenshot. If you go to your sales order list, you'll see now there's an ability to put the assigned to filter. So if you put that down here, you can actually select different people, or you can keep it empty and see the entire list of everybody, and you'll see the different initials here if you don't have a filter for that. But then you'll be able to see the order just specifically for that person and all the details, or they fulfilled, the customer, etc., the price and everything. So yes, you can do it easily from desktop and web. So I think I'm gonna leave that screen, and hopefully that answered your question, Marge. See any other questions that I think we have one from Arthur. Okay, Arthur, when creating the new sales order and we need to print or email the customer, can the PDF files with all the pictures be shown in the order? So I wasn't actually too sure, so I tested on my end and I didn't see that. I'm going to leave the request with the team as well to include that part. So simply right now, actually, I can probably show you what the customer sees when you share it, because I sent it to myself. The invoice is actually quite nice and clean. It just doesn't have a picture, but it is quite beautiful. Pumping it up here. A beautiful invoice, they exist. So I'll actually show you here. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm just going to share my whole screen here. You can see all my beautiful tabs. So can you guys see my email here?
Yep.
Cool. So when you send that email from your mobile, this is what comes to the recipient. So they'll see this, and if you just go to view my sales order, this is what will show up. So you'll see the pictures aren't there. Again, I'll put in the request, but they'll see this. And for those who know about inFlow Pay coming up soon, there will be an additional button here. So customers can click it and pay you instantly, which is a relief. A nice little addition for people. You don't have to worry about people wasting much money. So imagine that is the future of inFlow. It's coming out very soon. So some exciting stuff. But Arthur, I've taken note of your name and email, so if we do have that feature out, we'll let you know.
And Lillian was asking, is there a way we can set permissions so that our sales reps can't mark orders as paid or invoiced, and so that they can't convert quotes to orders or vice versa? Sometimes they just randomly click buttons accidentally, and we've lost a couple orders that way. That's a good question.
Yeah. So we do have, I'll actually show you again. Let's see. Yes and no, basically, is the answer, which is the greatest non-answer ever to exist. But let me show you on my screen. So I'm going to show you, okay, I'll just get my entire screen. Okay, so I just want to make sure everybody can see I'm in the inFlow app, the web app. Can you see?
Sorry, yep.
Okay, cool. And by the way, we have Daniela and Katya here. If you guys ever reach out to support or are onboarding people, you'll probably have talked to them, but just a shout out. So when you go to account team, Lillian, and even if Stephanie might be interested, I know you're interested in the cloud. When you come down to the account page, here's going to be a list where all your team members are. So everybody you've invited and who has an account. So as the administrator, you pretty much have all access. You can change that if you want, but you probably want everything. But for each person, you can actually go here into edit. And then you'll be able to, first of all, if you want to give them a display name, you can create another administrator if you'd like a few people on the account. Administrators, just so you know, are able to make changes to the account, upgrades, anything with billing. So it's always good to have a backup in case, can't get a hold of you, you're on vacation, whatever. Anyways, that's a side story. But you'll see here for each section, there's different access rights that you can give everybody. So it doesn't go down to the specifics that you've mentioned, but for example, for sales, if this is one of my sales reps, for example, I can say they get full access, they can view, or they get no access at all. So if you remember on my phone, I couldn't even enter the sales order screen. That's the no access. And then for sales orders specifically, you can see we've expanded a little bit. So you can, as a sales rep, you can view it. Mobile picking only, which is what I showed you, and they can view mobile picking only and have full access. So again, it's very similar to here. Most of our things right now are just to view or view only or full access. If there's any additional layers of accessibility, do let us know. So that's how you would set that for now. So Lillian, I don't know if that would be helpful, those layers. Let us know if there's something additional or extra layer that you think would be helpful. Let us know.
Cool.
Okay, Mark just got it. Arthur, cool. With some more. Sales order for multiple sales reps in multiple locations. Can that be done? Access to just their location. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question, Joanne. Matt, do you know between sales order for multiple sales reps in multiple locations?
Sales orders for multiple sales reps and so can that be done access to just their location? So you have sales. So you I'm not sure. I mean, you can have multiple sales reps. You can have multiple sales orders per rep, and you can have multiple locations. Can you access just specific locations?
I see what you're asking. You can actually set default locations for each rep. So that is where they sell from. So, you know, Matt is the storefront location. That's his location and that's his default. So anytime it'll actually default from there. But I don't believe we have the ability to restrict somebody from choosing another location. But you can set up a default. I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question.
And then Lillian, just a follow up to the other demo. If it's view only, they wouldn't be able to create a sales order, though, right? Correct. Yes. So there is that limitation. So it sounds like you need something in between. So you want something specific on the sales order that they're able to touch versus not. Lillian, let us know if that's correct. We'll make a note of it. And Cassandra piping in, not yet. She's replying to Joanne. Awesome. Cassandra is like the inFlow expert. She knows everything. So glad she's in here. But no, not yet. Not yet. That's the key word, is yet. Considering it for the future. Thanks, Cassandra.
And just a heads up, if you're watching the replay too, by all means, if you have a question, shoot us an email and we can take care of you that way as well.
Awesome. I'm just checking. I think those are all the questions so far. If there's anything else, let us know. If you've asked a question we didn't answer it, let us know. Penny says, thanks for the webinar. Love that it was a time she could attend. 7 a.m. my time is too early for me to make it. So
I agree.
Don't worry, Penny. Actually, Joanne is the one who pinged us and asked if we could try something a bit later for the PST folks. So great idea. Didn't even cross our mind. So thank you, Joanne. Good recommendation.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for attending. Really appreciate it. And I hope you learned a little bit more. It seemed like a lot of people, they've heard of inFlow Mobile, but they hadn't necessarily dove in. So by all means, try it out, get started with it. And and if you're interested in the smart scanner, check that out as well too.
Awesome. And sorry, one more question. As people have, Cassandra's already answered it, but so the replay watchers can know, Joanne's asking if somebody starts an order and there's an item missing in that person's default location, what happens? Cassandra answered, and her answer was they'll get a low stock warning icon if there's no stock in their default. So if Matt is set to storefront and he has 0 stock of the granola bars, but the back storage has 100, it'll still show low stock icon, which is a red exclamation mark. You'll see it in the program. Awesome. Okay, so I think we're wrapping up here. Last call.
Going once, going twice. Maybe we should do another secret draw for the people that waited out this.
Yeah, exactly. You guys can get my cashy box.
There we go. No, don't give those away. Hey.
I know. It's cool.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Really appreciate you watching. And sorry that we went for so long, but I hope you got a lot out of it.
Yeah. So they can't. Oh, so one more question. Joanne snuck it in there. So they can't close the order. So you will be able to. You can force close. You'll get a warning though before you do that. So they can force the close, or they can as well if they choose a different location. So they can change it. They can go and be like, okay, I'm out of stock in my default location, but I'm going to take one from the back storage. They can go into inFlow and actually change that as well. All right. If there's any more questions though, Joanne, you know, you can reach out to us and we're pretty fast at replying, so let us know.
All right.
New record, an hour and 45-minute webinar, the newest record.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right,
bye. Have a good rest of your day.
Happy Memorial Day for those in the States. Enjoy.
Cheers. Bye for now.